Hello everybody and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Play EWR, where we go into the WWE and simulate it. This is a channel for simulation games after all, and this is a simulation game, so we are going to simulate the WWE. Now, some background information before we jump right in. We are starting on July 1st, as you see. IRL, the brand split doesn't begin until a few weeks after this point, but in our universe, the brand split begins as soon as July begins. Now, so just consider the point of divergence from what happens in real life to be right about now, which is June 12th. So anything that happens before June 12th in real life is also canon within this universe. Alright, got it? Okay, now we are going to be running 2 shows, Raw and SmackDown. Stephanie McMahon is the general manager of Raw, and Shane McMahon is the general manager of SmackDown. That's how we're going to do it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I have complete roster information down below, so if you want to know who's on what roster, check that out. Alright, so before we jump in, Money in the Bank 2016 has taken place, and all the matches that have been announced IRL happened, and I'm going to run down the results for you. Alright? Here we go. Money in the Bank results. Rusev defeats Titus O'Neil and holds on to the U.S. title. The Club, meaning Anderson and Gallows, defeated the New Day, Enzo and Cass, Vaudevillains, for the tag team titles, which means we need to change this picture. 1 second, everybody. Alright, there we go, much better. So Anderson and Gallows are now our new tag team champions. The New Day, no longer the champions. Okay, Charlotte retains the women's title. Doesn't matter against who. The point is she still has it. AJ Styles has defeated John Cena in that match. That is the first match in a feud that is going to be ongoing within my world too. Now, the win was clean-ish. Like, it was a clean 1-2-3 pin, but there was a little bit of a slightly under the board kind of stuff going on with AJ, and you know, maybe the Club played a little bit of a role in it, but not too much because AJ is still looking very strong. Okay, Money in the Bank ladder match. Kevin Owens wins the Money in the Bank after a great fight, a great battle between all these guys. Kevin Owens is the one at the end to climb up the ladder. He's up there. Dean Ambrose is up there too. They're at each other. But Kevin Owens manages to knock Dean Ambrose off that ladder onto another ladder that had been placed across some ropes or something cool like that. So Dean's out. Kevin Owens climbs to the top, takes down the Money in the Bank. The bell is rung. Yeah, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm the best, you know. This is mine, yeah. And he does his Kevin Owens stuff. Alright, so, main event, Roman Reigns defeats Seth Rollins and to retain the WWE Championship. However, ladies and gentlemen, there is a double turn. Roman just, this is sort of a mirror of the Bret Hart versus Steve Austin match from WrestleMania, which one was that? 14? 13, 14, I think it was 13, where they did that double turn, and it's a very similar situation. Roman comes in, the face, maybe not the fan favorite face, of course, but the nominal face. But by the end, he just savagely beats the hell out of Seth Rollins and leaves in a huff, not shaking anyone's hands, not doing anything, just marching off. Whereas Seth Rollins, just like Steve Austin from another generation, gets up under his own power. It's a very moving moment. And he's won the sympathy of the fans. Those fans that weren't already behind him are now behind him. So now Seth Rollins is a babyface. Roman Reigns is a heel. So that was Money in the Bank. We've had a couple of Raws since then, a couple of SmackDowns since then, but now the brand split is about to officially begin. So, without further ado, let's advance along the day. Okay, here we go. Next day. This is always a little bit tense because whenever you start a new day in this game at the beginning, you're going to get a lot of information. I got no information. I'm just kidding, folks. But, well, I checked the settings to make sure I'm getting informed about everything that I should be. Alright, I had it turned off for just about everything, so we missed a bunch of hirings and firings, but that's alright. It's not a big deal. We'll just go on to the next day, see what happens now. Yeah, the first 2 days, there's always a lot of stuff. Oh no, we already have an incident. Okay, can you see this? Now you can. Alright, hold on. Staff have reported that Epico has become increasingly difficult to work with. Well, we don't want to let things like this go, so we're going to give him a 1-month suspension. Alright. So, now let's see what's going on in our wonderful world. Alright. This is where we can click through things. We can see what the other companies have been doing, have gotten their TV shows. Nothing too interesting, but as you can see, all these other promotions have released a lot of people because I think that, oh, they released Moose. That's too bad. Yeah, there's a lot of that's Alicia Young. Okay, but yeah, it's always interesting to see this because there might be people to pick up in the future. But yeah, most of this is just not too interesting to us. So we're just going to click on through it. Eventually this will calm down to just a few notes a day. So you can trust me on that. Alright, we are here on July 4th. Let's see what kind of mail we've gotten. Oh no, Dalton Castle has been released. Not Dalton Castle, man. Okay, we'll click through this. Usually the most pertinent information is right up front, like television reports and shows that anyone's done. But, you know, we can just click through this. Eventually, some of these people we might want to hire, depending on their how good they are. But the thing is, we already have such a big roster that until NXT starts to run low, we aren't going to really worry about this. So we're just going to click on through. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to book the first ever episode of Monday Night Raw. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back, and in 5 seconds, we will see the very first episode of Monday Night Raw in the brand split. Ladies and gentlemen, the first episode of Monday Night Raw. Alright. First segment, we get Stephanie McMahon coming out and announcing that she is now the general manager of Raw. She's like, yes, my father gave SmackDown to my brother. I know, I think I would have been more qualified, but Raw is the longest running TV show, blah, 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 etc., etc. And I'm in charge here now, and everything is going to be great and all that. And she's really over, apparently. She's got an 88%. So So that's pretty cool. All right, now we move on to our first match of the night, which is a three-way tag team match between the three teams that did not win the title at Money in the Bank. So we have Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains versus the New Day. And whoever wins this is one step closer at getting another chance to challenge for the tag titles. So it goes on, and Enzo pins Simon Gotch. Revenge for that injury that he suffered back at Payback. So Enzo and Cass have won this match, which has, as you can see, done pretty well. 71%. It's not too bad. Alright. And now we have Enzo and Cass. I really got to change the name of the team to the right name. But Enzo and Cass went on and did a promo against the title holders, the Club, over here. Yeah, couple of haters. And next, we have Randy Orton, back from injury. Yay for Randy Orton. He's back, and he's facing Alberto Del Rio. Excuse me, Alberto Del Rio. Sorry, I'll never do that again. Okay, so we got a nice little match by them. Probably only about 5 minutes long or so. But Randy Orton, he wins, and everyone's happy. Next up, we have an episode of the must-see talk show on WWE, Miz TV. So Miz announces that his guest tonight will be Dean Ambrose. So Dean walks out, does his thing, and Miz is all like, "So Dean, how do you feel about not winning Money in the Bank? How do you feel about being the only former Shield member that doesn't have championship gold on you? How do you feel having your talk show, the Ambrose Asylum, canceled, whereas I, The Miz, still has Miz TV, and I'm a successful movie star, and I'm awesome, and I'm amazing, and I'm better than you, and blah, 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 blah." And eventually, Dean Ambrose, he can't take it anymore, so he leaps up, and he just punches The Miz, and they go to a fight, and Dean destroys the entire set of Miz TV, and it's beautiful. Alright, so, Bayley. We all love Bayley. She is making her Raw debut tonight. She comes over to Sasha Banks, and all the animosity from, about a year ago is forgotten. They're both baby faces now. They're doing very well. And they say, "Oh, you know what? We're going to look out for each other." Sasha warns Bayley that Charlotte is not to be trusted. She's not the same person that she once was, and all that stuff, because they are going to face the team of ... Dana Brooke and Charlotte. That's right. Those two are still working together. So the two of them go in there. Match was very good, but the crowd was still excited because, I guess Randy Orton puts butts in seats. So that's good. The match goes on. And, let's see, who won again? Oh yeah, Bayley managed to pin Dana Brooke. But the two teams fight, and they fight, and they fight, and they fight. So that goes on. Alright, and now Seth Rollins is backstage, and he's talking about Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins is trying to make amends for the things he did in the past. He's like, "I was only trying to do the best that I could to be the champion that I wanted to be. I might have gotten a little too carried away, but Roman, he is letting everything get to his head, And anyone who is, has got to watch out for that guy. And if he starts anything tonight, I'll be there. Because now we go into our main event, which is Roman Reigns versus Apollo Crews. A non-title match, but the two of them fight, and they fight, and they fight. But Roman Reigns comes out on top, and he starts to punish Apollo Crews for daring to even challenge him. When Seth Rollins runs out and gets in there, and Seth does his revenge on Roman, looking strong. Even though Roman Reigns won the match, Seth stands over Roman at the end, and that's the last image they see of the show. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so this is our card for the first Raw of the new era, and we got a 76%. Basically, how I see it, anything above 70% is good. Anything above 80% is really awesome. So we should be aiming for somewhere in the 75 to 80 range for every show. And we got 76, so I will color this one a success. Alright. Oh no, we have an incident. Let's take a look at what it is. Here. Several wrestlers have complained about the recent bad attitude of Erick Rowan. Well, he's not that big of a deal for us, so we're going to give him a 1-month suspension for this. By the way, all month things actually end on the month, so we're going to put in, let's see. Alright, we're going to look at our news. So we're going to go to the first. Bayley and Sasha Banks work well together. That's good news. We're going to keep that in mind for the future. Jericho wants to work with John Cena. Well, that's why I have a notepad document to write all this down. It's very, very helpful. Alright, let's see what's next. We got a 6.83 from Raw. Considering our ceiling at this point, I think is 7. That's a very good thing. And of course, it's more than twice as good as you would get IRL. Alright, now it's time for some releases and stuff. It's still happening, but it's slowing down. Okay. So, bunch of crap that happened. You know, I have to question what's happening with the other promotions because yeah, didn't see too much news out of TNA or Ring of Honor. I wondered if they were are you guys okay? But apparently they tend to be they seem to be working fine. We can even look at these other groups to see how they're doing, who's their top stars, all of that. So there we go. Pretty nice. Alright, whoa. Okay, yeah, we still have graphical glitches, but that's alright. Okay. But now, it's time for SmackDown. So, on the count of 5, we are going to start the first ever episode of SmackDown. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And SmackDown begins with, here comes the money, 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 dollar, dollar. Shane McMahon's doing his dance, going up and down the aisle. It's the first ever live SmackDown. Shane McMahon is in charge. Everybody loves it. Shane McMahon is ridiculously over. And he announces, you know, first live SmackDown, this is history. And also, I'm reinstating the Cruiserweight title. Yay! Goes everybody. And he puts up this graphic of the tournament. So this is going to be the inaugural tournament for the newly reinstated Cruiserweight title. Of course, their graphic would be fancier than this. I'm certain of it. But there we have it. That's what's going to happen. So that's what Shane says, and everyone loves it because, of course, it's Shane McMahon. All right, next up, we have our first match for the Cruiserweight tournament. It's Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, which is a match that should, by all accounts, be really good. So they have a nice fight. In the end, Finn Balor wins. And since they're both babyfaces, they give each other a handshake and everything goes well. So Finn Balor moves to the next stage of the tournament. Alright. Now, Rusev Mashka. Rusev. Bum ba da dum dum dum. He stands there in the middle of the ring with his United States Championship, and he's like, well, since I'm the only one here holding a title, I consider myself the top of SmackDown. I consider myself the best. So, anyone can challenge me. It doesn't matter. I'm the best. I will destroy everybody. Rusev crush. And so on. So it's just Rusev just being Rusev, having a good time. Next up, we have a match between the Ascension and two guys you might know, Zack Ryder and Jack Swagger. They're put together, and you know what? It goes well for them. They defeat the Ascension, and they put them away, moving them into the realm of Alright. However, they're celebrating in the ring, the two of them, and suddenly, AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson, the club, comes out and assaults them, and they smash up these two guys. And that injures them. It's not too pleasant to be those guys. Next up, we have another match for the Cruiserweight tournament. And this time it is Tyler Breeze, the criminally underused Tyler Breeze, versus former two-time United States champion Kalisto. They fight and they fight, and Tyler Breeze wins. He gets the spot to move on against Finn Balor in the next round. Way to go, Tyler. Alright. Next up, Kevin Owens is walking backstage, carrying his Money in the Bank briefcase, looking all smug and everything. When he comes up to Shane McMahon and says, "Oh, Shane, I want to talk to you." What is it, Kevin? You know that we just reinstated the World Heavyweight Champion, the big gold belt, right? Yeah. Well, you know that nobody is holding that title right now, right? Yes. What are you getting at, Kevin? Well, you see here, I have the Money in the Bank briefcase, so that means that I'm deserved a title shot. So, since, nobody has a title, maybe I will just give you this briefcase and you'll give me the title? Yeah? Yeah? And Shane's like, "No, Kevin, that's not how things work around here." And Kevin's getting all mad and huffy and everything. And Shane's like, "What I'm going to do is we're going to have two longer established people face off this week for a shot, and then two newer people facing off next week. And then whoever wins those two matches will go on to face one another for this newly reinstated championship." And Kevin Owens he's like, "Well, after that, then it's up to you, whatever you want, Kevin." And so he walks off in a huff and says some witty Kevin Owens-ism because he's brilliant. All right. So now we see John Cena warming up because everyone likes Big Match John. He's working out. He's doing his thing. The crowd's cheering, "Wee, Cena!" Especially the kids. All right. And now we get into our main event. John Cena versus Chris Jericho. The crowd went absolutely nuts for this one. And this was a match that the two of them requested, so it went well. They go and they go, and they go for a while. And then, at the end, 1 AA at the end puts Chris Jericho away. Cena wins, but then AJ Styles comes in with a chair. Wham! Smacks Cena. And man, according to this battle report, he gets bloody. Yes, blood has been reintroduced in small amounts into WWE programming. I can dream, right? So that happens, and the last scene of the night is AJ Styles standing over a prone John Cena. So, ladies and gentlemen, we outdid Raw by having a 79% rating for SmackDown. I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with that. Alright, so let's go on into the next day and see what mail we've got. Hold on, let me turn on. Boop. Alright. They work well together? Well, I would hope so. We got a 6.84 rating for SmackDown. Pretty damn good. TNA got a 1.92. Good job. Oh yeah, that's right. We're on the same night as Impact. RIP Impact. Okay. More releases, but as you can tell, the numbers are getting smaller. So that's about it. Not too much information. So that is going to be that for the day. And let's advance the calendar. Oh no, we have an incident. What could that possibly be? Booker T was injured. Oh no. Well, let's check the injury report. Okay, it's not too bad. Here, I'll show you. He has a damaged hand, and he's out for 1 month. Okay, not too bad. And we weren't really going to be doing too much with him anyway in the near future. So let's see. Yes, more releases. That's fine. Lucha Underground, a show I have to watch IRL, by the way, because it seems pretty cool. They got a show. ROH got a good showing for ROH Wednesday. Good for them. Good thing they're not competing with us like Impact is. Alright, so let's advance the calendar a little bit more. Alright. I'm not bothering showing you all this mail when there's just nothing interesting going on. So let's go to Saturday. Just a whole bunch of releases. CMLL is really laying off the people. Alright. Okay, we have some more TV ratings that we don't really care about. AAA got a 2.66, so that's something. Mexican promotion, I believe. And finally, we arrive on the day of the next Raw. We got a few other shows that we don't care about. But ladies and gentlemen, I know I said that I want to make each episode a month, but I didn't calculate properly how much time each episode would take up. So we're going to do an episode a week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of this episode. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you like this format. Tell me if you like the matches that I'm putting together. Are there any wrestlers that you would like to see receive a push? If so, please leave me a message and I might get back to you on that, and you might see it in the game. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this first episode, and I'll see you later.